Closed network, which is independent from the internet, is widely used to operate and store information for control systems of important infrastructure companies, such as electricity and gas, or confidential information retained by companies. Even in such a network, isolated from the outside, there is a risk of system malfunction and information theft due to infection by malicious programs. I will explain cyber attacks on closed networks. A closed network is an independent network that is not directly connected to the internet and can only be used by specific people. Then, is it safe if it is not connected to the internet? The answer is no. Of course, it can be said that it is safer than being connected to the internet. But in addition to human errors, there is still the risk of cyber attacks by attackers. Let's check these risks in a quiz with Saitama Prefecture Police mascot, Popomi-chan. Now, the first question. Mr. A found the USB memory device of an unknown owner in the company. Mr. A, who thought that the person who lost the USB might be in trouble, immediately checked the USB contents on a computer connected to the company network. Was Mr. A's behavior correct? Do you know, Popomi-chan? Correct answer! You understand well, Popomi-chan. There are risks if you connect an unknown USB memory device to your computer without thinking deeply. What if this USB memory device contained a malicious program prepared by an attacker and was intentionally dropped inside the company? Yes, you may have been infected with a malicious program and company information might have been stolen. In this case, firstly, check the USB memory device for viruses on a computer isolated from the corporate network. Next is the second question. The company where Mr. A works operates a large-scale plant control system. One day, the control system settings had to be updated on very short notice. Since the person in charge of the control system was working from home and was absent, Mr. A decided to update the data using a USB memory device. Mr. A was told by the person in charge of the system, for updating data, use a dedicated USB memory device. But he wanted to finish his work in a hurry. He saved the backup data on a personal USB memory device that he usually used, and connected it to the control system. Was Mr. A's behavior correct? This time it's difficult. But do you know, Popomi-chan? Correct answer! Great, Popomi-chan! Due to the fact that commercially available versatile operating system is often used for control systems, there is a risk of being infected with malicious programs. For this reason, if Mr. A's personal USB memory device was infected with a malicious program, the control system may be infected with a malicious program and malfunction. In addition to preparing a dedicated USB memory device to connect to the control system, make sure that there are no malicious programs on the computer isolated from the company network before connecting. Well then, the final question. Mr. A's company has a maintenance contract for a large plant control system with a control equipment manufacturer. One day, a familiar maintenance person visited for regular maintenance. Mr. A knew the person and thought he was reliable, but Mr. A constantly observed the work of the maintenance person. Was Mr. A's behavior correct? Do you understand, Popomi-chan? Correct answer! All the questions are correct, Popomi-chan. In a case where a closed network is infected with a malicious program, an external recording medium such as a USB memory device rolling for maintenance work is infected with a malicious program, or a maintenance person is brought off by an attacker, there is a chance for infection. Even if the maintenance work is done by a person with a familiar face, the work status should be checked at all times. and the name of the worker should be written down at reception when entering or leaving the area. This is a review of countermeasures for closed networks. Check for viruses on a computer isolated from the network before connecting a USB memory device. Only use a dedicated USB memory device. In addition to recording the name, etc. without exception, when entering and leaving the room, check the work of the maintenance company. Furthermore, it is also effective to seal or remove the USB connection port with a specialized tool when not in use. As previously mentioned, I have spoken with Kokomi-chan about cyber attacks on closed networks. These types of attacks have been causing major damage in Japan. It is important to take proper measures. We need to take precautions against these crimes together. みんなで備える。This was brought to you by the Cyber Attack Special Investigation Team at Saitama Prefecture Police Headquarters.